So, I know in my last video I was very, down, and now I'm not. I'm doing a lot better. I feel better. I was also very tired in that video, and I made it, I don't even remember what time I made it, but it was late, I think, and, you know, I'm not really sure. I'm trying to think here. I'm blanking. I'm sorry. I'm not really sure if it was necessarily a depression. Like, it wasn't like a deep depression or anything like that. It was more just like I had been, before I made that video, like a few hours before that, I had been very happy and energetic and just, you know, the complete opposite of that video. So I think I had just sort of crashed a little bit. I was already tired, and I just decided to say what was on my mind while my mind was sort of in that mode. Kind of just how I was feeling, I guess, at that moment. Which is good, you know, because then I can really see what's going on with myself. And that's a good thing, I think. Yeah, it is a good thing. So, I have made an appointment with a counselor. It's not the same one I had before. She no longer works there. It's with a different one. And, you know, I'm not really good at a counseling setting. I mean, being the patient in that way, because, or client, or whatever you want to call it. Just because I'm more comfortable talking to somebody who I feel a connection with, like a friend. And there has been somebody that I've, you know, talked to about stuff, and I don't feel that that person judges me or anything like that. They listen to what I say, and that person just listens. And that's good, you know. In that kind of a sense, in that environment, it's different. I'm more open to talk to people. When I have to go into a building and sit in a small room, and, you know, they're on, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it doesn't feel like I can really be honest about stuff. I mean, I've tried to be honest in the past. You know, I don't try to hide stuff or anything like that. But I guess the amount of comfort that I feel is completely different than if I just talk to somebody who's like a friend, or, you know, or like you go to a support group or something, and just the atmosphere of the entire thing is different than going in for actual counseling. However, it's probably best that I go, because if I see a psychiatrist, most likely they are going to want me to be in counseling if they give me meds. A lot of places work like that. Not every place, but a lot of places, if you see a psychiatrist and you're getting med management, they will not give you meds unless you are seeing a counselor. Just how it is. And I just mean that for mental health. It's not the same way necessarily for physical health. You know, I mean, I don't really know how that works. I mean, if you have cancer and you go in for treatment or something, do they tell you, well, you can't have this medication or this treatment unless you see a counselor? I don't think they do that. I think they recommend it, but I don't know if they necessarily say, we want you to have both. as your treatment plan. I don't know how that works, but I've never heard of it that way, so maybe not. I don't know, maybe you guys know. I know that with my back, I didn't have that situation. They didn't tell me I needed to go to counseling because I was having a lot of pain, and they wanted me to take, and I was on, well, at one point I was on some sort of pain medication, but it wasn't like, okay, we'd like you to see a psychiatrist or a counselor or whatever, that way we know that you're doing alright. It wasn't like that, so it's just kind of interesting how they decide, like, what you need for what sort of condition that it is. Yeah, and I'm hoping that by going back to counseling, if I do have to see a psychiatrist, which they'll probably want me to because of my condition, I'm going to really try and get in with my old psychiatrist. I liked him. We had a good rapport. He didn't make me feel like I was just another patient or I was just another number. When I was there, when it was my turn, my appointment, all his attention was on me. You know what I mean? So it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't like the last counselor I had where it was at, you know, it wasn't like a private practice kind of a thing. It was more like a community thing. And they see a lot of people. And I get that there's a lot of people that they have to see, and they're busy and all that stuff. But you would go in, and you wouldn't even talk to the doctor first. You talk to some nurse person for like a half hour about what's going on. And she or he would have their back to you, typing away what you're saying. And then they'd be like, oh, can you repeat that? Oh, okay. And you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. And then for like maybe 5 to 10 minutes, if it's that long, usually it's about 5 minutes, the psychiatrist will come in. And my psychiatrist would have her nose in a book, in my file, and just like I'd be talking and she wouldn't even look at me. She'd only look at me when she had something to say to me, not when I had something to say to her. And I just found that very unprofessional and just very, just like, it's like common sense that when you are speaking to somebody, that the other person look at you and listen. It's just common sense. And I don't think she had much of it. You know, I think she just got way too into that role of looking at the chart rather than listening to the patient. That's just my thought. And plus being so busy. And I can understand where she might be coming from, but at the same time, I'm a human being. I'm not a folder. I'm not a file. I'm a person. I have thoughts, feelings, and I am a living, breathing creature. When I talk, I expect my doctors to look at me and listen. You know. So if any doctors are out there, any kind of doctor, just keep that in mind. Doesn't matter what kind of doctor you are. You could be a dentist. But when your patients are talking to you, look at them. Treat them like human beings. It's what we want. At least it's what I want. It's just common courtesy and a respect thing and a professionalism thing. So, keep that in mind. So yeah, I'm going to start counseling next Wednesday. It's my intake. I'm a little nervous. I know, like I said, I don't have a good, I talk, and I say what's going on, but I always have this, like, anxious feeling. I don't know. Like I said, I think it's just the setting, really. It's the setting. If I could go, like, outside and sit outside, and just kind of be, you know what I mean? Like, just be kind of like I'm outside in my car right now, and I feel totally comfortable. I mean, there's nobody around. If there was somebody around, I wouldn't feel comfortable, but I feel totally comfortable right now talking to you guys. And although it looks like I'm talking to myself, that's okay. I talk to myself all the time. Anyway, I would feel more comfortable doing that, you know, but they don't do that, you know. And, yeah, there's a van pulling in for cable. And he looks familiar. I think I've seen him before. I think he was here yesterday, or the day before, or whatever day it was. And he was looking at me. I'm sitting here talking to my camera. My phone, rather. So if I'm kind of mumbling right now, it's just because I'm nervous that he's right there. I don't want him to hear what I'm talking about. So, yeah, and I saw this, paper there that they have like a DBT group that meets, I think, once a week for like an hour and a half. And I thought, you know, if they're doing that and you don't actually have to go to partial like I've been before, then that might be better. He's staring at me. He's getting the stuff so he can go inside. I don't know if you can hear me, but I know he can, so I'm whispering. Okay, there he goes. He's got a nice butt. He's got one of those butts that moves, you know. I'm sitting here staring at him. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry about that. Like I said, when people are around and I make these videos, I don't like to talk. I feel embarrassed almost, like I don't know what it is. It's like I don't want people to know what I'm doing. I don't mind making these videos, but, you know, I mean, other than when my son's around, he doesn't bother me, but other people, I don't know what it is, it just bothers me. Yeah, so the DBT group, I think that that might be better than having to go to partial, because then you have to, you know, it's another setting, and, you know, it's still in a group setting, but it's at the same place. You know, it's not, I don't have to drive to a different town to get there. And the counselor that I'm scheduled to see runs the group, so I will ask her about it and see, bug, get off me. And I will see if it's something that I can participate in, because I think the woman at the desk, I think she said you can participate in it as long as you don't have a therapy session on the same day. And I happen to have my scheduled intake on the same exact day as that group, so I'm going to ask her about it and just see, well, it's something I'd like to do, and if it's something I'd like to do, I'd like to come on a different day, if that's possible. You know, they only have so many slots available, so we'll see. Anyway, this is probably one. It's probably this video is probably something else by now. Yeah, so. And my son is back in school, and that makes me feel good. You know, I get my days to myself again. You know, I love my son. I really, really do. And I enjoyed having him around all summer long. But Mama needs a break. I need a break. He was getting way too clingy, I guess. He was just, I couldn't do anything without him asking me, Mom, what are you doing? Where are you going? Who are you talking to? I mean, I felt like I was in a possessive relationship or something. And I looked at him one day and I said, Casey, what I do is my business. I don't answer to you. I'm your mother. I make the rules. I don't have to tell you what I'm doing. If it doesn't involve you, then I don't need to tell you. You know, and he just kind of looked at me and I'm like, you know, and then he's like, so where are you going? Like, I mean, he's 7, so he probably just went in one ear and out the other, you know. But I'm glad he's back in school. Today's his second day. He had a great first day. A great first day. So I'm happy about that, you know, because sometimes kids don't always have good first days or first weeks or whatever, and, you know, things happen, especially if you have a special needs child like I do. Things happen, you know. So I'm just glad about that. And I think that's pretty much it right now. Yeah. I mean, there's not anything special going on. I mean, oh, other than tomorrow is Thursday. So I'm probably going to my NAMI meeting. I haven't been there in months. So I don't know if there's new people or if people have stopped going. I don't really know. But I'm going to go because there's somebody pulling in. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.